Hello and welcome to the Jupiter Moon Project channel here. And my name is Alexandra. And today we are gathering, for the next new moon session, which the new moon is coming up next week on the 13th of November. I think that's right. Sometime in the night for you in America, early morning or mid-morning for us here in Europe. And I decided to go with an earlier date because I feel that the Scorpio, leading up to the Scorpio new moon, the dark moon can be a potent time to really settle in and see what this new season has in store for us. So here we are, and welcome, Karen. Welcome, Marvin. So lovely to have you here. How are you doing?
Glad to be here. How are we doing? I have to sit with that for a minute. It's been, for me, a little bit of a challenging week. And you know why? It's because of all the burning outside and the smoke. And oh my goodness, I just don't like that. Isn't that crazy? It's been coming into my house through the soffits, and I don't do well with that. So I've had many days actually.
What burning?
People are burning their
Okay.
leaves and all that. My neighbor next door has been, he put wet grass and wet leaves out there. So it's smoldered
Smoke.
for days. I went out and put it out with a hose. My husband went out and put it out with a hose. I asked him, please don't light it. And he relit it. So it's been a challenge. I've had 5 days where I've had to wear a mask in my house. So
Oh dear.
Trying to get through that. I mean, it's not it. Yeah. So I haven't really, unfortunately, been able to think of much else. Isn't that it just has kind of taken over my life. It's clear now. So I'm very thankful and grateful for that. And I think that's very strange that something so small like that kind of takes over your life. But it kind of became very prominent, and grateful that, boy, I can breathe, and my lungs are clear, my home is clear, and boy, I don't have allergies, but for those people that have allergies and respiratory difficulties and things like that, I lived it. So I'm very understanding of that. So anyway, this last 2 days have been pretty clear. And so I know that's kind of a little, maybe a very small little challenge, but it's been, kind of consuming at times. So.
Interesting. And that people should do that. Okay, it's not really.
Well, I live out in the country, so.
Yeah, so do I. We don't do that kind of thing here.
Oh. And it seems like we are not very community minded here where I live, that it's everybody's all for themselves. Not always. I don't think we are. I mean, we do, I think, a lot of helpful things for that neighbor that was doing that. So, and he's a fireman, for God's sake. That's why it just was so, really? I don't understand that. You would think. All right, you laugh. I'm sorry.
Sorry. It's because you said he's a fireman. So yeah, maybe that's.
Well, I would think that they would know the harmful effects of smoldering, wet. I mean, there's a lot of pollutants in that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But no, it's past. And
it is.
Whew,
yeah, that's what I said. My last 2 days are clear. I'm feeling restful in my home, and new days. Everything was golden this morning out there in the sun, the beautiful sun as it came through, everything was golden. So yeah, I'm going to tap into that. So
Yeah, should. And you, Maren, how are you feeling?
Good, quite good. The last months were some little bit tense on several surfaces, and I think I could let a lot of this tension go. The part which I can influence. There are still parts no one can influence. And I started, I don't work full time anymore. I work for, part time. And this gives me, I think, time for myself. And I think the routine starts to settle. So I'm fine. I'm fine.
Good. Good to hear it. Yeah. Embrace that time for yourself. Very good. Very good.
So do you think of November as the new year? You know, like some people going to the Celtic year as Samhain is the ending of the year and November starts a new year for them. How do you vision that?
I have been actually thinking about that as well, and was thinking I may do that this time, but doesn't feel right for me right now.
And I was not thinking about it because, yeah, actually I didn't know that. So
Well, yeah, Celtic, you know, they actually start, their day begins at night. Their day begins at night, and it's just so for them going into the winter season, everything is the beginning of their new year. So, you know, when the harvest is complete. So just because I have lived my entire life not in that cycle, it just doesn't feel right for me either.
Exactly.
You know, I think that if, you know, my heritage and lineage and everything celebrated it that way, certainly it would feel okay for me. I just
I would think about it because I'm more than, yeah, actually I'm a night owl. I'm the happiest when it's dark outside. I'm creative at that time. Maybe it suits me. I will think about it. Thank you.
Oh, just curious how some folks, you know, there's quite a few people that I know that really celebrate it as the new year. No, November 1st is the new year. So,
but my tradition, my personal tradition, that has become a tradition now over the past 5+ years, is definitely, or even longer, 10 years at least, is celebrating those 12 nights.
Right.
At the end
Before
of the year,
Christmas.
beginning of the year, and
Yeah.
that time to take time to retreat, and yeah, that feels more aligned with myself.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're used to that,
And you know, and here, I don't know if it's the same in Europe, but you know, everybody is really gearing up instead of slowing down. You've
yes,
got, you know, your Thanksgiving, you got your Christmas, you got all these holidays, and then they kind of slow down. So it's pretty hard to, unless you were just, you know, absent from the, you know, even going into the stores, everything like the hustle and bustle around this time of year. It's kind of,
yeah.
Well, I don't know if it would be difficult. If I have that path, I have that path. I would find that a way to have that, you know, bring that path into my life. But yeah, it just doesn't, that's not what I've done for most of my life. So I do recognize it though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, this season in particular is definitely an invitation to let go and release a lot before we move into the new year as well. I am taking this season and yeah, as an invitation to let go of a lot of things, even work through a lot of mental stuff that's been coming up, lots of emotional stuff. And I find this is the start of the season. I mean, it's not just one day like we celebrate New Year and the next day is the next year. This is a gradual process
Oh yeah.
that happens. It's starting around now, starting around the beginning of the Scorpio season, and maybe for me personally, with my birthday being at the
Right.
end of October, it's like, yeah, I'm starting something new, but it's gradual. It's this slow invitation to move into something new, which will then come with the next year.
Yeah.
But it's not full on from one day to the next.
Yeah. My husband's birthday, he's a Scorpio, so I see him today also doing his final show of the year, and then he's going to go into a season where it's more of a incubating type thing, and
Yes,
so yeah, it's a winding down of yeah. I think since that ancestral altar and doing all those things, I'm actually going to dive a little bit deeper into some of those, working through some of those ancestral traumas. I think that's kind of what I've got a course that I'm going to be taking that's kind of helping me to dive deeper and guiding my way a little bit. So kind of interested in that, excited in that's kind of what um, is calling me right now. So yeah,
sounds great.
yeah, I think so. I'm hoping so,
Yeah.
and we'll see.
Mhm. So, Marvin, did you create a little altar?
Yeah, I have one in the background.
Oh,
Ooh, yes,
And
very sweet.
actually, I told you about my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
That's a card, a lunar card. I think it suits her with
Mm-hmm.
some candle because I never met, as I told you, I don't know anything about this woman, but I think she needs some warmth, some love.
ah, beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, she deserves it, and she'll appreciate it. Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I think in the next month, because my parents will sell the house and there will be probably some things to sort out. I hope to find some pictures.
Mm.
Let's see.
That would be great. Yes, yeah, I like that. The idea there that you have a card representing her.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I don't know much about my grandparents, really, honestly.
Mm.
Some I don't know anything about. So just trying to bring in just something that I've been told they liked, or that can represent them. A card is just a perfect thing. Yeah.
This is your inspiration. I think you told in the course in the intro you and to find cards who can represent those
Oh,
people.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, glad you followed it.
yeah, I followed it. I tried it.
Yeah, so shall we settle in a little bit? Feels
Yes.
like the energy has moved now from into a more gentle space. Mm. So, if it feels right for you, then close your eyes. Mm. Feel your seat. Feel how you're sitting. Is it comfortable? Do you need to change anything? And if so, feel free to do so. Now notice your breath. Ooh. Inhaling and exhaling, releasing any tension that has built up throughout the past days, the weeks, today. Just release with every breath. And with every breath you take, you relax just a little bit more. Your breath taking you down to the soles of your feet, and feeling the grounding energy that comes up from the earth beneath you. Perhaps you can feel some kind of sensation in the soles of your feet as you connect to the earth. A tingling, a warmth, anything. Maybe even a heaviness. And I would like to invite you to stay with the idea and the sensation of heaviness. When our body relaxes, it starts to become heavy. It lets go. Letting go of all the tension and just letting your body flow. The muscles release energy, and the heaviness turns into warmth and spreads all the way up from your feet, through your legs, your torso, into your arms and hands, and if it feels comfortable, your neck and your head as well. And with your breath, keep on releasing anything that is on your mind right now. Any thoughts will come and go as you concentrate on warmth flowing through your body. And now listen to the stillness around you. Your mind is still. Your heart is still. You are still. And as you make space within yourself for the stillness, maybe there's something coming up for you deep within that you need to know right now. A message from your soul, a message from your heart center. Something you can only hear when you're really quiet. And slowly, ever so slowly, feel your way back into your body. Feeling any sensations, feeling your muscles, your arms, your hands, your torso, your legs and your feet again. Let that heaviness lift now. And with the next few breaths, you can come back into the space, and when it feels right, you can open your eyes. How was that, ladies?
That was amazing. You really offer amazing meditations. That was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Oh, just a quick hello, Ruth. You just missed the meditation. Maren, how was it for you?
It was beautiful.
Good. Good. Glad you enjoyed it. Ruth, how are you?
Doing well. Yes.
Good to see you. So, Scorpio season, Scorpio new moon.
Yes, Miss Scorpio. There she is.
Yes, I am enjoying this season. I really am. And I had an interesting, very, very uneventful birthday. It was, yeah, it was really interesting. It was the invitation to completely slow down, and that is what I've been doing now these past weeks.
Yeah, good.
And yeah, and releasing a lot, even physical stuff. And
I can understand that.
Felt so good.
Yeah, because Scorpio is, inward, but I can understand why you would do that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're in Scorpio New Moon and Scorpio Sun.
Yes.
Not today. Is it today? But actually, the 13th is our Scorpio New Moon and Sun.
Yes. And we're still in Libra, I think.
Crescent or something. Yeah, waning crescent.
Yeah, today. What is it? Yeah.
What moon do we have?
Today is in Libra. We're in a waning crescent in Libra. But we're talking about the Scorpio Sun and New Moon. Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably sitting at because I'm looking at this, it's a little bit of Virgo, but it's going to move into Libra tonight probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say mine says Libra now. So, I'm a couple hours ahead of you, I think.
About three.
Yeah. So, yeah. And you guys are really ahead of us. I don't know, 7 hours ahead of us. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're already Libra. They're already gone into Libra.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So, Scorpio is a wonderful water sign. And for me, that is the direction of the West, and going into the August and the watery, emotional, that's kind of what fall and everything means to me. So Scorpio. What does Scorpio mean to you as the Scorpion?
Changing of seasons has definitely come upon us, or upon me. Yeah, that's always my association with Scorpio, bringing about change,
transformation.
It feels like there's a sense of dedication, a deeper dedication when this season comes, and I feel really motivated to get things done and to really focus and hone into what it is I want to bring about. So yeah, and it's not the things that are like gonna happen in just a week or 2 weeks, or that by the end of the year. It's something, it's a bigger change that is always happening around that time, and will go right into the next year then as well. So in for the long haul.
That's right. You know, when I think about Scorpio, I always think about it. You better be ready for it because it's a fixed sign. And if you are going to declare something, either you're going to redo something and transform something, you better be ready because it's going to be difficult to go and reconnect that or redo it. Once you make that decision, it's like it's almost carved in stone because you got Taurus sitting over on the other side.
Yes, it is.
So I always think about that. You know, people mostly talk about Scorpio in terms of sexuality and hanging off the chandelier or something, you know, but that's crazy stuff. Scorpio is about getting those things that need to come up, being willing to face it big time.
Oh, yes.
Major, because you cannot go back. Once you make a decision, you're not going back.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand why you took a deep dive.
Yeah, right in the middle of it. Deep dive, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I really feel that when you say it's the fixed sign, it feels like the intentions I set Libra season are now in full swing and really taking shape. So it's like what comes to mind is that that stone that you roll down a hill and it gets faster and
Right,
faster.
that's right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely
You
right.
can't stop it. You
That's
can't
right.
stop it.
The
So
momentum.
yes.
And you know, people don't think of Scorpio that way, but Scorpio is a powerful sign in terms of once the thing, like you said, gets moving, you'd better get out of the way because there's tremendous power behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was thinking, I have Moon in Scorpio, and this new moon is going to be exactly on my sun. It's going to be a trine. I got an exact trine.
Wow.
20 degrees. My sun is 20 degrees, and this new moon is going to be 20 degrees. So I got a real connection there, and and I know what you mean. You don't see my Scorpio as much because it's the moon, but it's always sitting over there on the side saying, what's really going on here? That's the question that comes up for me all the time is, what's really going on here?
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's something I'm having to ask myself as well. What's really beneath all of that stuff that's going on and shifting? Yeah. So it's definitely an interesting season. And I was reading today that Venus is now entering Libra, or has entered Libra as well. So I find that a great invitation.
Yeah.
In combination with the Scorpio season that we're still in, to deep dive self-care.
Oh, yeah.
A real deep dive.
Venus is at home. She's happy.
She is.
She's in her own sign. So wherever you have Venus, and if you get Venus in Libra, you're a happy camper.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but in combination with the Scorpio, I think it is really that invitation to be really still as well, to the self-care being a lot of meditation, maybe even journaling, to really go deep. I think she likes that as well right now.
Well, it's the other part of that question is this something, because we just had the solar eclipse and we had a Venus energy going on because the lunar eclipse was in Taurus, so that brings Venus in again. And she's asking us, what do we really value? What are we really willing to put our time and energy into? And then, like you said, Scorpio comes in with that. Once you make the agreement with yourself, you really make the agreement, it's almost virtually impossible to stop it. That's the Scorpio part. So what do we value?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I was going to say I have Jupiter and Neptune in Scorpio.
I got Jupiter in Scorpio.
Maren, we're going to have to check where Scorpio is present for you.
So,
That is what I thought, so I have to check it.
We will do that.
Yes, absolutely. That is really the important part of looking at your chart. See, I'm of the mind your chart doesn't really matter if you don't use it as the map to determine from month to month in terms of the cycles and the energy, because we're talking about energy here. How are we using this energy? How are we using this emotional energy? It doesn't really matter, you know. I listen to a lot of, and there's a lot more stuff on astrology these days. But people are talking about this being an aspect to this and this. And I say to them, these are the astrologers. Well, what difference does it make? If you don't know where and how to use this energy, what difference does it make?
Yeah, aspects mean nothing to me. I mean,
absolutely. Everybody, most other people want to know what's the meaning for me? What's in it for me?
Right.
And that's where I come from. And I'm always, saying, wait a minute, I know aspects just as well as, I've been studying this a long time. But it doesn't matter. If I'm talking to a client or I'm wanting somebody to utilize this, I've got to help them understand how they can apply it in their daily life.
Absolutely.
In whatever particular situation, person, event is occurring, that's how this might have impact for them. But it doesn't matter if, and that's the fierceness of, that's my Scorpio moon right there.
That's the Scorpio moon right there.
That's right. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't have some way of utilizing this.
Yeah, it becomes academic otherwise.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I think that's the main. Okay, the word is escaping me, but the main job of astrologers to actually hand over the tools to the client so that they can utilize these energies and understand them for themselves. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, same with tarot though.
Yeah.
Those we are to help bring it down to their level so that they can understand it, basically, is what we're trying to
Numerology, the oracle,
anything,
the tarot, astrology, the runes, all of them.
All of it.
These are our tools for our lives.
Exactly.
Don't sit and play one up on people. No. There's been enough of that.
That's not fair.
So that's the stinger. See, that's the scorpion. Right now I'm being a scorpion. I'm not being an eagle. I'm not being a dove. I'm being a scorpion.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hmm.
What's your moon in, Karen?
I'm
And
sorry.
Myron? What's your
My
moon in?
moon's Pisces.
Oh, you got double? You're double?
I have Pisces, sun, moon, and ascending.
Oh, that's marvelous. So, little
I don't know. I got
water,
50,
little water
50%
woman, water
water.
woman,
50% water.
mirror woman. Hey, mirror woman.
So, you know, everything I think I have 13% earth. So everything I have 25% fire though. So all those things I fire off, that water kind of washes it all away, and I end up doing much.
Well,
it does happen that way. I really does.
I got you beat. I don't have any. I get
Oh my
zero.
God. Wow.
Yeah.
But I
I'll
got
give you
enough
some.
fixed.
I'll give you a little.
Okay, thanks.
I think Marvin has probably a lot of earth for us all.
Oh,
Is she a Taurus? Marvin, are you a Taurus?
No, she's a Virgo.
Oh, well, that. Okay.
I'm full Virgo, full.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
She's. See what happens when during the moon cycle, whenever Virgo comes in, what I do, and Taurus too, all three of the earth signs, I will actually consciously call them in, but I particularly call in the Virgo energy during the month. I know I have a window of about 3 days. And so I say, okay, it's Virgo time. Now let me call in this Virgo energy to help me I'm serious. And during the month of September, I just really buckle down and say, okay, I'm going to use this Virgo energy because it's different. It feels different to this Pisces self. I'm right there with Karen. It's like, but I call it in, and I really consciously attempt to utilize it to get things done. So that's how I integrate my opposite sign, which then becomes a compliment.
Yeah, that's important to have that opposite sign a compliment.
Yeah, as opposed to fighting it, you know.
Exactly. There's no point in that. It's the two working together that brings the full potential.
Because I don't have any, like I said, I don't have any earth by sign. So I've come up with these ways of utilizing it. And that's maybe why I started studying astrology many, many moons ago. You know, I didn't know that I didn't have earth by sign. But I do have all the stuff sitting up I got a whole bunch of stuff sitting up in the Capricorn house. So I guess that helps. That counts.
I'm sure that counts. Absolutely. That counts. Yeah. So, Karen, have you brought any stones?
I have.
A bit of earth energy here, maybe.
Well,
Okay,
I've
that's
actually
earth. That's earthy.
I had to bring a little bit of water energy with the earth energy. So, because we are in a watery season. So, my first one, I think you actually have, I don't know if this was your stone of the year or what. It is lodestone, garden quartz, lodestone. These are and what they are, they actually have inclusions of minerals and things, and almost look like gardens within. You know, they call it garden quartz or lodestone. And these probably are darker ones that they kind of look. They are a darker quartz, but oh gosh, they're just filled with all these beautiful, wonderful inclusions. And what they do is they kind of welcome you to discover all the worlds within. You know, it's kind of like we're always seeking to understand. And this is so interesting, that entire meditation that you did in the beginning, it kind of asks you to find that comfortable space and feel into your toes and feel the awareness in all the spaces in your body and dive into and explore all the different layers. So I thought it was a wonderful analogy of what we can do during this November, during the Scorpio season. You know, how do the layers shape our story? You know, just go in and discover and find out. So this is lodestone. Yeah. So I will post some more pictures. And then lepidolite was calling me. Now I have some lepidolite that is in quartz, but I also have just straight lepidolite. This is lepidolite. It's also like lithium. It's one of those, it's like, here's actual, God, it just looks so gorgeous. I don't know if you can really see. It's like a mica luster. It's like a lavender color, mica luster. And, this is some quartz with lepidolite in it. And that really invites you to breathe in your trueness, your authentic self. So both of them are kind
Karen,
of
can you hold that one up again with the lepidolite?
Sure. This is lepidolite. And
oh,
this
that's what it
is,
looks like?
yeah, this is lepidolite. This is just this is all lepidolite. This is quartz with lepidolite, and the tip and everything. Here's like quartz with lepidolite. It has like a lilac, lavender type of, and quartz always amplifies everything. I mean, this is lepidolite too. It has that mica shine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll show pictures. You'll be able to see them better. But yeah, it's it really allows you to shine and show your authentic self. And it's asking you to breathe that trueness in. And it's, like mica grows in sheets. And they're actually almost called books, the layers, the different layers. So just as the stories of our lives are like many sheets, so is so is lepidolite. So both of these are really about diving into yourself. And I thought that was pretty appropriate for this time of year. Yeah. So those are the two stones that I have for you today. And actually, I mean, you don't have to get them in raw form. You can, I think, of course, you can always have pictures if you don't have any. This is lodestone is also called garden quartz. So I'll post all that on online. Lodestone, not lodestone, lodolite. Lodestone is completely different crystal. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Wow.
Yeah, those are, they came. I looked in my little drawers and that's what popped out. And I said, oh, and geez, it really fit perfectly with her meditation, because we were, putting our awareness on our toes, on our legs, and going up our torso, and that's exactly what lodolite asks that you do. The other one, breathe in, so it's touching your space in your bodies and things like that. So it was really cool. Yeah.
I like that, because I think one aspect of Scorpio for me personally is also being really aware of my own body during this time. So yeah, that's always really important for me. Yeah. Karen, you said you had how many decks today?
I have two cards that came up. I worked with two decks today, and I was doing, that asking questions, which deck will be best. And gee, lo and behold, I pulled one card, then I pulled the other card. So I was going to use this, and then I said, okay, I want the card for this new moon session. And the same card came up, so I said, okay, I've got to use that deck, because I didn't know if I really, anyway. And then so both of these cards really went together again. So, and it's so I'm using two decks today. And they are tarot decks. And boy, this one I haven't used for the Mindful Tarot. Ooh, I haven't used for a very long time. And it was one of my decks that I used for almost 6 or 7 months in Vanessa's class. And it just became too dreamy sometimes. But I'm telling you, some of those cards are the most beautiful cards. And I was thinking, okay, and I'll use that today. So I pulled a card. So the card I've got for today.
For the collective. Yeah.
Yes, for the collective was the Hierophant.
Oh,
And,
that makes sense.
you know,
that makes sense.
so
Yes.
yeah, I kind of want to invite everyone in to discover the Hierophant really traditionally is about those beliefs and religious beliefs or beliefs that are more programmed, that are more popular, that are the status quo. And it's actually looking outside looking outside for programming, for my beliefs, for my structures. And I think this card is more of an invitation to discover that power within. Here I see the light, the intuitive light right in the third eye, holding the staff, the black cloak, the crystals all around. That's inviting me to discover my own power, to really connect with my own beliefs. Maybe let some of those outer beliefs crumble. To me, that would be more the patriarchal. That's what and that is my own personal belief. But even for those who are very Christian oriented and have those, religious beliefs, maybe dive into those a little bit and really discover what your authentic truth is with them. I think that's what this is inviting me to do, really discover what I believe in. What is, that's what, and then my other deck was from the Hush Tarot.
Mm-hmm.
And this I just like the way this felt around this time of year, Hush Tarot. And it really dives a little bit deeper into that more surreal, darker kind of paths, I think. But strength came up to me, this was pulled. And here she is in war paint, bats are flying around, and moths. Now, the meaning they have in the book is a little bit different than my meaning. Here they're trying to tame the beast, and the bestial me. What I discovered with this was those beautiful bats and those moths. They are kind of transformative. I want to combine my power and tap into that sacred wild. That's what it's asking me to do here, and form a unit. That's what I want to do with this card is, discover the beast, the wild, that sacred part of me that wants to be wild. So these kind of definitely paired together. They really are telling a story for me. It's all about finding your authenticity, your trueness. Same with the crystals, they just all kind of flowed together, that whole story. So those are my two cards.
Yeah, I will share the card I pulled from the Season of the Witch, which is the Samhain deck this time. And for the collective, and we have seduction.
Scorpio.
Yes. It says, hear the roaring flames with the masterful trance that calls upon heaving chest. Give in to its alluring grip if you so please, but heed my warning of the claws that draw blood without mercy. Yeah, so seduction. I'm going to take this more of an invitation to seduce myself. To be present in my own body, and I invite you. It feels aligned with what we were speaking about before. That Venus energy now in Libra and the Scorpio season. I think those two energies can really be seductive and really lure you into your own energy and yeah, take part in that luscious self-care season. I think that's the invitation here. Yeah. And with your two cards, I think, Karen, the invitation there is also to explore that darker energy that we have around our belief systems, and find the strength within that as well, as we clear the space for what's really true to us. Yeah. Great invitation there. So, before we close the official part of this session, Maren, Ruth, would you like to add anything to the cards, stones, whatever?
I just want to say with the two cards, well, I guess three, I really see, I think Karen just said, looking at the dark or the shadow, we have a tendency to want to push that away. And I'm glad you said seduction, even that can have a strange kind of titillating push-pull to it. And I've been really looking and contemplating the fact that we have to live with both sides. We have to have the dark or shadow must be acknowledged because it's energy in order to come into quote unquote the transformation light. So those are always doing this dance, and we have a tendency to want to shuttle. That's why Scorpio is such a season, is such a powerful time, because it's calling us to acknowledge this part that we can't push away, because it has to be acknowledged, just like the other part that we want. In many ways, we want to have there's the golden shadow, which is looking at, oh, I love to have this or that, but we got to have both sides. So that's what I see your two cards basically saying, acknowledging that we got to have, this part over here must dance with this part for us to be rebirthed, because that's Scorpio, and transformed. Both sides have to be acknowledged.
Absolutely. Anything else? No? Okay. Thank you again for being here, and thank you to you watching the replay. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you again in the next session, which will be sometime in early December, I think. And yeah, just keep a lookout for that. And yeah, so have a blessed day, and see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.